Noah, please pick up the phone, we need to talk. Why did I just find divorce papers in our mailbox?
Because I want to divorce you, duh. Why else would they be in the mailbox? Now do me a favor and sign so I can get this over with, and get you out of my life.
This is crazy talk, you've never said anything about divorce before now. Besides, what did I even do to push you to something like this?
There you go again, thinking with your heart instead of your brains, what little you have, anyways. When your husband tells you to do something, you do it dutifully, even if it means getting divorced, got it?
Wait a second, don't tell me, is this about when I was washing dishes last night? Are you seriously still mad about that? I mean, I was very grateful that you took the time to do the dishes, it's just that some of them were still dirty, and you splashed water all over the kitchen with the sink. You did your best, I just needed to finish what you started, you know? I hardly think wanting a clean kitchen is a sin worthy of leaving me over.
You still don't get it, do you? Then again, why would you? You wouldn't know hard work if it was staring you in the face, that's your problem. I come home after slaving away all day at work, go the extra mile to do chores even when that's your job, and you're still ungrateful. You've got some nerve getting on my case after I've been busting my butt for your sake. I got no need for a wife that's just gonna ignore all the effort I put into making a life for us.
Get real. If that's all it takes for you to be ready to divorce me, maybe we ought to go through with it. I mean, what do you want, a gold star for going to work?
That's real nice, even when you're in the wrong, you just have to give me lip, don't you? If you had any wits about you, you'd get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness from me. I don't know what went wrong, but you've changed after you got pregnant, for the worse. You used to listen to everything I said without any gripes, what happened? Now, I'm stuck with the wife from hell.
Oh please, you make it sound like I enjoy being harsh with you. You know damn well I only get mad because you won't step up and act like a father.
Act like a father? I am 10 times a better parent than you could ever dream to be, woman. Do you know how hard it is to get home from a hard day at work and still have to put that kid in the bath before bedtime?
I do, actually. Do you know how hard it is to change his diaper? Probably not, since you haven't even done it a single time since he was born. Have you ever been woken up several times in the dead of night by his crying and climbed out of bed to breastfeed him? Oh, that's right, you can't. And even if you could, you wouldn't. Trust me, between the baby and the house, I've got a full-time job too, Noah, so enough of the talk about being a great dad.
Alright, damn, quit your whining already. You're on maternity leave, you never have to go into the office or do any work, so you're in no place to complain. You said it yourself that the baby is your job, right? Okay, so why don't you just shut up, and do your job, and be grateful when I provide for this family, how's that sound?
See, you run around talking about what a great dad you are, but then you tell me raising Evan is my responsibility alone. Does that sound fatherly to you? Please, just work with me here even a little bit.
Screw you. You think you can talk to me like this while you're living off my paycheck, is that it? I'm sick of coming home to you, so tired I could pass out, only to get an earful about some garbage no one cares about. Good luck without me, toots. I'm not coming home tonight, not the night after that, and not ever again.
Hiding away at your mommy's house again until your temper tantrum cools down, huh? Yes, very manly and responsible of you, indeed. I have to say, finding these papers and then hearing you're ditching me is not doing much to smooth things over with me.
You're the one who should be smoothing things over, you nitwit. You know when you do something wrong you're supposed to say sorry, right? Use this time wisely to get your act together, because when I come back, I'll be expecting a real, genuine apology. Oh yeah, and good luck managing without my money for a while, I'm sure that'll give you some much needed perspective.
2 hours later. Hello, Jenna. Care to explain why my son is my living room instead of at your home, where he lives? Don't tell me you're having another one of your little spats. Honestly, darling, and stop being cute for couples to bicker a long time ago. At this point it's embarrassing at best and concerning at worst.
I'm really sorry. I swear I'm not trying to dump him on you. He just got all wound up and stormed off in a huff, I guess.
You're his wife, you should be focusing on preventing that sort of winding up from happening in the first place. Believe me, I know how hard it is to raise a child, especially when they're infants, but don't take it out on Noah, alright? Purposed or become one of those sporty women or something, they're all the rage these days, so I'm told.
I promise I'm trying, but I can also promise you it really has nothing to do with stress relief. I'm very in touch with my emotions. The truth is, well, I don't know how to say this, and I feel bad saying it to his own mother, but I was really just hoping he'd be a little more proactive with Evan. He didn't take my suggestions very well, and I think that's what made things fall apart of it today.
Oh, for Pete's sake. You're seriously asking him to work harder? I thought Noah was working hard for your Evan's sake, isn't he? He giving Evan his nightly bath before bedtime? That's pretty admirable, given how late he gets off work most nights.
I mean, I'm sure he's trying his best, it's just, well, he's not quite adept at fending for himself, domestically speaking. Look, he's bathing Evan, that's not the problem, but washing the towels, making sure we have all the right shampoos, soaps, moisturizers? That's on me. I don't think Noah understands the effort it takes to keep everything clean and working, and he's a little too self-satisfied with the things he does get done.
Effort? You're a mother now, Jenna, welcome to the club.
I don't have a moment's rest here. If I'm in the bathroom or in the tub, the moment the baby starts crying, Noah starts calling for me without even trying to soothe him. Plus, he tries to do dishes or clean the house, but he always just sort of quits halfway through, and as you can tell, whenever I try to bring it up with him, well, you can see his reaction for yourself, clearly.
You're kidding me? That's outrageous. How lazy of a woman can you be, asking your husband to do all that?
Excuse me?
You should be grateful he's going as far as to give his son baths. Good grief, I thought he might have actually been in the wrong here. After hearing your hysteric ramblings, though, it sounds like they're just unable to cope with your failure as a mother, and so you've elected to blame Noah. Do you know how hard he works to support you guys? Making him raise a child because you can't on top of all that is too much. Be reasonable.
Reasonable. I'm asking him to do chores, not to fuse a bomb. You know most parents work and raise a kid at the same time, right? It's not exactly uncharted waters. Sure, I'm on maternity leave, but when I go back to work, I'm going to keep taking care of the house and Evan, so if Noah is still this resistant to being a father by then.
Back to work? What are you, a hippie feminist type? Evan is gonna have some kind of developmental issues if both his parents are workaholics. Besides, it's a man's job to work, and a woman's job to take care of the family.
Not to burst your bubble, but living on his salary alone isn't exactly sustainable.
Sustainable? Here we go again blaming Evan for your own failings. Did you even know how you sound right now? He works hard day and night, and if that's not enough for you, you ought to rethink your life.
Okay, I understand the chore thing, but what did I even do this time? The money thing is, in my opinion, it's a fact.
It's not your fault, you're young, and you don't know how the world works, so let me try to make this simple for you. The wife cooks, cleans, takes care of the child, cherishes her husband, and does what he says. These are basic truths of marriage, and if you can't handle living like that, I don't think you're cut out to be a wife. After all, my Noah deserves a devoted wife.
Yeah, maybe I'm not.
Say no more, I understand everything that's been happening between you guys now. Of course he's suffering, he's got a worthless excuse for a wife to come home to every night.
Is that what I am? In that case, why don't you look after him for a while, Martha, since you clearly know what's best for him? Trust me, he'll come crawling back to me sheepishly in, what, a week's time? I'm sure you can look after him until he wises up.
Indeed, perhaps he'll wise up and realize he can do better than an unappealing, vulgar woman like you. For your information, Noah here has been bringing up the possibility of divorcing you quite a bit today, so don't get too comfortable on that high horse of yours.
Oh, he brought it up? You didn't, casually mention it to him or anything?
Well, who's to say? All that matters is that Noah is an upstanding man, a hard worker, a caring father, and a wonderful song to boot. Not many boys go see their mother every weekend, you know. All my friends are jealous of me. But you unruly thing, you refuse to treat my son with the respect he deserves. You've treated him like trash, and I've had it up to here with you. You're gonna take your talents out of my Noah and divorce him once and for all, let him live a life free of your wretched nonsense. No ifs, ands, or buts.
As you wish, Martha. I'll get right on that, and be out of your and Noah's hair before you know it.
1 week later.
Hey babe, you taken some time to cool off? LOL.
Oh yes, I'm feeling very clear-headed right now.
Then what are you waiting for? Get over here and apologize to me, otherwise you can forget about me coming home anytime soon.
I think I'll pass this time. Not interested, but I appreciate the offer and everything. I did some thinking, like you asked, and I decided I really haven't done anything wrong.
Nothing wrong.
So, I'm not sorry. Not even a little bit, actually. Don't worry about coming home either, I'll be okay, and so will Evan.
We must have very different ideas of cooling off. Let me spell this out for you, Jenna, since it's clearly going over your head. If I don't come home, neither does my money, the money you live off of. Does that sound like something you're okay being without?
Yeah, that doesn't seem so bad, from where I'm standing right now.
Very funny. Just because you think I'm gonna come home if you wait long enough doesn't mean I'm gonna let you humiliate me like this.
On the contrary, I think you're being more serious than you've ever been. It's just clear to me that you don't want to be here with me, so I don't think you should bother.
Man, you really are a harpy, you know that? Marrying you was the biggest mistake of my life.
I feel similarly. If I had a time machine, I'd have to think twice about marrying you in the first place. Consider yourself lucky that I love her son as much as I do. You told me at the altar I'd be happy for the rest of my days if I was with you. And yet here I am with nothing but misery, all at the hands of your idiocy. I thought becoming a father would make you more of a man, but instead, you regressed into even more juvenile behavior. I guess this is the real you, right?
Whoa, do you really think you can get away with saying crap like that about me? You're supposed to be kissing the ground I walk on begging for me to come home in times like this, lol.
You want me to beg?
Hail to the king, baby. I want to see you on your knees praying for forgiveness. Bring Evan too. He should see his father for the man he really is. If you can't do that, you can forget about ever seeing me again.
You're not being serious, are you?
I'm very serious. This is your last chance too, so think twice before you disrespect me again now. Oh, and if I even see a glimpse of that attitude you've been giving me, I'm out. I'm your husband, that means you serve me. Serve me well enough, and I might forget about those divorce papers, lol.
You're my what now? Sorry, I think you've got the wrong number or something.
What? Jenna, stop playing around, it's me.
You should feel ashamed, telling some random woman to serve you. Didn't your mother ever teach you any manners? Hopefully this is a wrong number or something, so do me a favor and delete my contact information.
Wrong number. Is this some kind of prank? How dare you keep trying to pull my leg after I've given you a last chance to make it up to me, your husband?
Like I told you, you're not my husband, sorry. As far as I'm concerned, you're just another creep in my messages. I did what you asked for and divorced you, isn't that enough for you?
Did you actually fill out that paperwork? You wouldn't do something that stupid, right?
Well, you brought them to the house, and you seemed rather serious about the whole thing. I figured I'd make things easier for you and take care of it myself. I'm sure by now everything's been processed and taken care of on the court's end, too.
Come on, quit messing around. Go and call the courthouse now and tell them to shred those documents. I never agree to this.
Why are you acting so surprised? You're the one who signed the papers and taped them to the front door for me to see. I was just finishing what you started.
Did you hit your head or something, woman? You'd have to be crazy to think that I was being serious about that.
You mean when you were yelling at me over text that you were going to leave me over, doing the dishes, right? Does that sound like a crazy person to you? Look, if you didn't want to get divorced, you really shouldn't have signed those papers. It's just common sense.
Don't play dumb with me. This isn't even the first time I've threatened to leave you, Jenna.
I'm not playing dumb, I'm just tired of playing your games. I'm fed up with you, and honestly, I'm fed up with your mother too. You two might be able to play monkey in the middle with me forever, but I can't. You're dead weight to me at this point, and like any smart person, I'm gonna jettison you for my life.
You don't have any right to talk down to me, let alone my mother. Besides, you talk a big game, but you know you can't live without my paycheck, you parasite. Oh, and raising Evan all by yourself? Good luck with that.
Thanks, but I don't really need any luck. I've been raising Evan myself this whole time, no thanks to you, so I doubt leaving you is gonna change much. And you're even dumber than I thought if you think you won't be paying child support.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
I also got in touch with my boss, and they'd love to have me back at the office soon, so I'll be able to support the baby and myself again pretty soon. In fact, they're so excited to have me back, they want to give me a raise, and give me shorter work hours so I can always put Evan first. Plus, my parents will be around to look after Evan if I have to go out of town for work.
You're unforgivable, trying to act all high and mighty in front of me. I know you're crumbling behind the strong woman exterior, so go ahead and just reverse this divorce stuff somehow, now.
I told you, it's been processed and approved, so it's a little too late for that. I submitted it a week ago, after all. Besides, going all the way there again would be a little embarrassing, at this point.
What's so embarrassing? Just hurry up and go down to the courthouse, now.
Nah, I don't really want to. I'm gonna have to talk to that same receptionist lady, the one you kept requesting papers from. By the way, she literally congratulated me for divorcing you.
You're lying. There's no way they would know who you are. You've never even been to the courthouse.
True, but she seemed to recognize your handwriting and your signature on the documents. It's her job to notice these things, you know. I had actually become a bit of a local legend to the people down at the courthouse, if you can imagine that. That lady actually thought you were making me up for some kind of tax write-off, can you imagine? I felt like a real celebrity down there. I have to say, the one thing I never expected when I walked into that place was to get a standing ovation. Hooray for divorce.
You're joking, right?
Hey, if you want to try and get the divorce repealed, knock yourself out. I think you'll get a very different reception than me though. Actually, I hope someone gets a video of them booing you or throwing tomatoes at you or whatever they have planned.
Tomatoes? I can't go down there if I'm going up against some angry mob.
Oh, drat. I guess you'll have to give up on getting the decision rescinded then, huh? Well, here's to a friendly, mutually agreed upon divorce.
1 hour later. Why on earth are you gallivanting around, telling Noah you're happy to divorce him? Explain yourself, now.
Martha, are you sure you're remembering things correctly? You're the one who told me to take my talons out of Noah and set him free, right? I did just what you said, no ifs, ands, or buts.
I'm flattered you took my words so seriously, but I don't think Noah had a chance to really, agree to this sort of thing. He's very upset, even if he's not showing it with me. A mother knows these things, after all.
I see. Since you seem to know what's best for him and how he feels, maybe you should try explaining that this was you commanding me to leave him. I'm sure he'll understand. He's a very receptive and emotionally in touch man.
Does this mean you're, not coming here to get him or anything like that?
Of course not. Do I look like a boomerang to you? Unlike your dimwit son who thinks waving around divorce papers will solve his problems, if you throw me away, I won't be coming back. By the way, since I'm no longer in your family, you shouldn't expect any more money from us, though I'm sure you'll manage with your Social Security.
Why would he stop giving me money just because of you?
See, there's your mistake. When Noah was bragging about financially supporting you, he neglected to mention that the money we gave you was from me. Sorry to break it to you, but I'm sure your perfect son will figure something out.
You mean he lied to me?
Well, he was sending you money himself, at first anyways. But the economy is not the way it was when you were our age, sorry to say. Once the recession hit, though, his yearly bonus took a nosedive, and the arrogant jerk he is, he thought it would be humiliating to tell you.
I'm feeling pretty humiliated right now, personally.
Well, I'd give some speecher about how I have no plans to support you any longer now that we've got ties, but we both know you hated me. Instead, I'll just say goodbye and good riddance. Enjoy being able to put your son first in all that garbage. Peace out.
3 days later.
What the hell is wrong with the people at the courthouse?
Did they end up actually throwing tomatoes at you? Please tell me one of them recorded a video and posted it online, lol.
I tried to ask them for marriage papers and they told me they were out of copies because of a semiconductor malfunction. That's gibberish. They're just outright lying to me. I ought to sue them for that kind of behavior.
Those clerks sure do love their jokes. If you try to sue them, maybe file your paperwork at a different courthouse though, lol.
Oh, yeah, it's all just one big joke, isn't it? As soon as I told them my name, they started busting up so hard they were crying. It's all your fault, you witch. You've turned me into some kind of laughing stock.
I'm not the one who made them file the same papers half a dozen times, am I? You shot yourself in the foot, that's all. What do you even want with those papers, anyway? Did you already find a new girl to trick into thinking she'd be happy with you?
Isn't it obvious? I'm trying to get us married again, duh. I can't appeal this divorce, but there's nothing stopping us from getting married again. Well, unless you count those clowns.
I'm sorry, have I been sending mixed signals or something? Let me spell it out for you, baby. There's not a chance in hell you and I are getting back together. You screwed your chances of being part of my life or Evan's life a long time ago.
Listen to me, I can change my ways. In fact, I already have. I'm ready to be a father, I want to be there for both of. Isn't it time we stop this silly lovers' quarrel and make things right?
Lovers' quarrel. If you think this was some kind of cute spat, you're even more delusional than I thought.
I've had a lot of time to think, and it's given me a lot of perspective, you know. Being a single mother is rough, and there's no way Evan's gonna grow up happy if you're always too busy working. Let's get back together, for his sake.
I'm leaving you precisely for his sake. If you think he'd be unhappy with a single mother, try thinking about how unhappy he'd be with us at each other's throats.
I'm manning up, like you asked. Turning your back on me again with those snipey words of yours is seriously gonna backfire this time, I'm warning you. Besides, you might not like me very much, but how do you expect to live at that house after I've changed the locks?
Good grief, did you actually go through all that trouble?
After I made my glorious return home and didn't get a real welcome home from my wife, I decided to take some precautions to prevent more of your shenanigans. What did you do? Go back to work and take Evan to the office with you. LOL.
Oh, you left Martha's house, that's nice. You really are manning up, I'll give you credit for that.
And I didn't even make you grovel at my feet. You're welcome, by the way. Alright, enough games, you and the kid should come home now, otherwise you're not getting one of the new house keys, understand?
I have no need for one, nor do I need you. See for yourself, I've already moved all my stuff out of the house.
Excuse me? You mean after all this, after everything I've done for you? You're not coming back?
Have you listened to a single thing I've said since all this started? We are divorced. I've already found a new place to live. I rented one of those huge moving trucks and loaded everything up, too. Get a clue, please.
Yeah, but come on, I thought you were, you know.
What, you thought I was bluffing? I don't know if that's sad, cute, or hilarious. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I'm leaning towards sad. Don't give me some kind of sob story about how you need us. You apparently didn't notice all of my and Evan's stuff was gone. Clearly, you don't give a damn about us. We might as well be invisible to you.
How was I supposed to know you were serious about leaving me?
Noah, you and I are nothing alike, and let this serve as a valuable lesson. When I say I'm gonna do something, I mean it. Seriously. As in, I'm seriously never living with you again, and pretty soon, we'll be having some serious talks about you paying for Evan's child support. Hail to the Queen, baby.
What? This has to be a nightmare or something. Please stop joking and say you're gonna marry me, already.
Nah, not happening. That's all I have to say on the matter. I would say it's been a pleasure, but it really hasn't. You have my dad's contact info, so if you need to get any more information, give him a message, okay? From here on out, I won't be taking any texts or calls from scrubs like you.
After that,
After reviewing Noah's behavior and text messages, I was awarded a very agreeable sum of alimony and monthly child support. I hear Noah had to sell the house to pay for the settlement in the end. He loved running off to his mother every time things didn't go his way though, so I'm sure he doesn't mind living with her full time, now. Martha herself wants to find a nice bride for that doofus son of hers, but as for her attempts to get marriage paperwork from the courthouse, well, let's just say word travels fast, and those clerk ladies don't just love their jokes, they love to gossip, too. Everyone around town now knows about the monstrous Martha and her numbskull's son, and I doubt either of them will live it down anytime soon.